Well, I'm excited to be here with you today. I feel like I belong. In fact, I've been invited to be a member of the Sons of the Utah Pioneers, being a descendant of William Clayton. My wife Holly is here, and she's tapped me 3 or 4 times and said, "I'm not speaking. You're speaking. So you take this," and I'm happy to do that. I'm here today to share some information with you about a new calling that I have, which is with the My Hometown Utah mission, and to help you understand what this is about, and maybe even possibly plant a seed of interest in your participating in this magnificent initiative that has been created. My Hometown is a unique initiative in which the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is partnering with local communities, governments, other faith groups, and other community-minded citizens to strengthen and improve neighborhoods, which maybe have become a little run down, to help revitalize properties, strengthen residents, foster a feeling of community, and make places where people want to come, to live, to stay, to be invested, to call it their hometown. My Hometown supports communities of caring as we listen, love, and live together. Let me just give you a brief history of how this started a little over 5 years ago. About 5.5 years ago, there was a stake president in West Valley City, Mark Rupp, who, thank you. There we go. Okay, is that helpful? If I lean in closer, okay. President Rupp had concerns about his community in which he lived, and wanted to figure out a way to help lift and strengthen these good people living in a particular community that he had some responsibility for in West Valley. He partnered with another stake president, and they came up with an idea to talk to the city about a way to join our resources to help strengthen and improve one of these neighborhoods that was in some need of some repair and help. On June 5th of 2019, he got the go-ahead to talk to West Valley City and to connect with them and the resources in a partnership to strengthen and build this community. They talked to city leaders, and one of those city leaders, the city manager, the city mayor was all in, thought it was a wonderful idea, had concerns of his own about what needed to be done and how to get it done. And here was a possible answer. The city manager was a little more hesitant, but after visiting with the area president, who was Elder Craig Christensen, and some reassurances there, he said, let's try it. Let's give it a go. So on June 5th, 2019, the My Hometown initiative started in West Valley City. It began with some service projects to particular properties that were in need of some repair, some upkeep. They identified areas that needed street lighting or needed repairs to sidewalks or repairs, cleaning up of yards, fences. And they identified several properties to begin working on. And then they gathered volunteers. They organized the service projects, gathered volunteers, joined with city resources. The city, West Valley City, said, we'll bring some dumpsters and we'll take them away for you. And they began conducting these service projects in some neighborhoods. Later, they realized that it would be really helpful if the residents could also improve their educational opportunities. There were many residents who really needed to learn English as a second language, or had an interest in the arts, or had an interest in business, how to finance, how to run a budget. self-reliance. There were various, as they talked to their community members, they said, we'd really like some more information on these various topics. And so the concept was developed to find a place where we could establish a community resource center. And we realized that many of the church buildings for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are used a lot on Sundays and maybe one or two other nights during the week, and other nights of the week they're just empty. And so we thought, let's put some resource centers, establish some teaching centers, a place to have classes in some of these church buildings. And so they tried that, opening up one of the church buildings on an evening to teach some classes. Worked tremendously well. These classes were free to anyone who wanted to come. And so as they realized that some of these things cost money, there was not a clear mechanism as to how to fund some of these activities. And so a 501c3 nonprofit organization was created called the City's Strong Foundation. This was the financial arm and the accounting arm for these initiatives to help build and improve communities. The area president, Elder Christensen, after this had been running for a short time, wanted to be sure he was on track, that the things that he was doing were okay, and took this concept to President Ballard, who said, this is what we've been looking for. This is a perfect idea. He said, go, go, go. And with that approval, we have continued to go, go, go. Those who served in this initiative were originally called to be volunteers. And now as this initiative has grown, it's become a mission. And our missionaries are those who serve with us are now called as church service missionaries. And this has been very, it helps us get an understanding of how we fit into an organization that is helping communities. But interestingly, because we partner with city governments, they have to be careful about keeping their distance from fostering one particular religion or another. When we serve in the community, we don't wear our missionary name badges. We wear city volunteer lanyards. And so as we go around to residents in these communities, it's not, oh, you're the missionaries. Oh, you're a city volunteer. And we'd like to help you improve your properties or tell you about classes that are available that will be a benefit. So we serve as city volunteers. This is our mission statement. My hometown supports communities of caring as we listen, love, and lift together. And we feel like that this is really what we're all about, is lifting and strengthening our local communities. Let me just share some thoughts of the others who have been involved in this initiative, as well as how the cities look on this initiative. Mark Durham was one of the early leaders. He was in Area 70 that was asked to work with the two stake presidents in getting this all sort of kicked off and organized. Mark said, basically, my hometown is a group of volunteers from all different religions, a multi-faith group that has decided we love this city and we want to revitalize it. The church describes my hometown in this way. My hometown projects include cleanup efforts to improve homes and neighborhoods and a host of educational and job opportunity offerings for local families by community resource centers housed inside Latter-day Saint meeting houses. Resource centers host youth programs, offer tutoring and literacy workshops, and classes in self-reliance, entrepreneurship, and finance, and many other things. So this is how West Valley City describes their partnership with My Hometown. The West Valley City My Hometown initiative was launched in January of 2020 as a collaborative effort to unite efforts of West Valley City residents, West Valley City, local churches, businesses, and other organizations to improve lives in our community. West Valley City, this is information I've taken from their website, the West Valley City website, about my hometown and the initiative working there. What do? We work to upgrade the housing and general appearance of West Valley City neighborhoods through days of service, those service projects that we organize to improve particular properties on selected weekends from April through October. We offer opportunities for families to learn and improve their circumstances at community resource centers, those classes that we're holding in church buildings and other buildings that offer free classes year-round. We help create a community where people will want to invest their time, money, and efforts. Specifically, we improve public and private property in the community. We elevate kindergarten through 12th grade educational performance. We help adults improve their skills, thereby raising incomes. We make neighborhoods safer. That's West Valley City's vision of how my hometown can help influence and strengthen their community as a community and as individuals and families. Here's a brief story of a family in West Valley City and how my hometown impacted them.
We've lived inside for 16 years. Most our whole marriage, we love this area, we love these people. And, we are constantly praying and constantly wishing for more for the people that we care about. We have really good people who move here and they just didn't like the area. So they moved to new and upcoming areas.
They shared the desire to make this place more of a tight-knit community, a place that people want to live and be and stay. So then they started pulling resources together, just discussing options and things that haven't really been done before. So we did participate in a program here called Operation My Hometown. It's a partnership with West Valley City, with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a number of other partners and organizations that are involved. And it's a combination of trying to revitalize the neighborhood aesthetically, and then as well to try to make it a better neighborhood, a place that's more desirable for everyone to live.
We had missionaries just last Saturday come. There was 13 of them that came and they stuck and they were here for about 4 hours helping us dig.
Our street, there was, I believe, 3 to 4 other projects happening at the same time. So our street was lined with people out from yard work to rebuilding fences and handicap ramps.
And go outside and see, lined with the orange vest people, run through right over. And this was really emotional for me to see that, to be able to just feel that love and to feel that. I don't even know what Lord I can think of, just to know that, it's a backyard and that doesn't mean anything, but it means something to me because I'll get to have my kids and us enjoy that. It's just huge joy.
My name is Jose Valladares. I've been called and assigned something that we call the food bank. This is a program that we provide free food for anybody who wants to come and receive that help. I'm so excited because it has been a dream of mine. I have always envisioned this type of project that gets together church, community, and more. The needs in our community are that most people are low income. Most people live from paycheck to paycheck. And they don't have a break ever, so they can get ahead. One of the things that I believe this program will help is education, and I believe this will be the center or the place where people can go when they don't know what to do or where to get help.
and shall man. Ye are my disciples, if ye have loved one to another. Neighborhood, the kids, no matter what their religious affiliation is, or any community center, to go and play games, to go and do music, to go and do the computer lab and educate, and do better for themselves. They think it's just gonna make the community a place that everybody can be.
People are going to see that, you know, as Christians, members of the Church of Jesus Christ, we care about you physically, emotionally, mentally, and we want to make sure you're okay. And I just think once that happens, it's going to be amazing.
The project itself will be here forever. The access to city resources, the partner resources, all those things will all be here, but the church will always be here. And so with the church being here, it will be a steady and a constant thing that can help the community. Have the potential to fulfill the biblical scripture of being light set on a hill, a candle set on a hill. And that's what the gospel of Jesus Christ is all about. I can reach out and I can lift myself up and I can help others in the same time. And to be able to see that that's what the community does, I think will help people understand that's what Christ does. And then they'll be changed in this life and in the ultimate.
So my hometown started in West Valley City and has now grown to Ogden, Salt Lake City, Provo, and Orem. And we have 15 communities where we're serving. We on a Saturday in Ogden, they love to do all of their service projects on one day. So they may organize 70 or 80 projects on one day where they gather all the city resources. We invite stakes to send volunteers on a Saturday morning for 4 hours to just come and work on these projects. And so in Ogden, they may gather 1,500 volunteers from surrounding communities, not only the stakes, but others in the community that want to help. And they will do all of these projects. In West Valley, they like to spread the resources out and do it maybe 15 or 20 projects on a Saturday and do several Saturdays in the month. But that's the cities adapt the program to serve their needs. Let me just share some of the ways that Ogden looks at my hometown. The vision of my hometown, Ogden, and again, this is from the Ogden City website. This is not something that I've generated or that the church has asked us to share. This is from Ogden City. The vision of my hometown, Ogden, is to create beautiful communities of personal growth, happiness, friendship, and hope, working with homeowners and renters to improve their properties, no-cost classes for adults, youth, and children. Here's a project that was identified and some help that was given to the local Lutheran church, the LM Lutheran Church of Ogden.
Of being a good neighbor, seeing a need in the community, and recognizing that we have the ability to do something to meet that need. We have an older building, and the landscaping is older. I often came with equipment to dig up old tree roots, took out probably close to 10 loads of dirt and old tree roots and everything, and then laid fabric barrier down, and then on top of the fabric barrier, wood chips like tree bark. Beautifying our landscape. We also planted a bunch of solid underneath our church sign, making our church property look like it's cared for. And it's made a difference. It's warmed my heart, the hearts of a lot of people that are part of the congregation too. What also amazed me on that is when my hometown Ogden came here, they not only served here, but there were like 30 other locations just in the Ogden community that we created as well. in a day when there's so much political divide, so much fear of the other, it's incredible to see people who are willing to break barriers to show the love of Jesus in a heartwarming way of love to people. You've got my praise, you've got my thanks. Not only that way, but I'm praising God for what you do, because I think it's phenomenal.
So Ogden City loves my hometown, and we're just doing some marvelous things, helping people. I'll share a few of the stories in just a bit. Provo was the third town where we started my hometown service projects and community resource centers. Again, from Provo City's website. My hometown is a partnership between Provo City, our residents, local churches, nonprofit organizations, and corporations that work together to build camaraderie and strengthen friendships within neighborhoods, build community leadership and resilience, enhance the educational opportunities of the neighbors, bring new life and energy to city neighborhoods by improving the housing and the appearance of the neighborhood, offer opportunities for the community's families to advance and prosper, make the neighborhood a place where neighbors will want to invest their time, money, efforts, and a desire to stay. How it works: the city provides leadership, connections, and resources. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints provides a facility and volunteers for the resource centers. Neighbors provide leadership as block captains and promote communication and friendship. Congregations of all faiths, nonprofit organizations, and corporations are invited to participate with us. As an example of one of the most popular course offerings at the community resource centers, the English as a Second Language. This is a man who attended one of those English as a Second Language classes. Just his brief story.
I need more strong base for start to take more daily communication with the people, with the customers. This year is the January start to study here in my hometown. English with a very good teacher, David and Julie Hansen. They are awesome. This class made me realize my life, and I'm starting to do my own song and here in Korea. And this course of English made me improve very, very much. And maybe make money.
So improve his personal feeling about himself and his ability to interact with the community, but also improve his opportunity to increase his income. So great things that are happening, and this is offered without any charge or obligation. We just began in Orem City, and Orem is very much on board and on fire and excited to have my hometown as a partner there. This is from Orem's website. Orem is set to welcome the My Hometown Initiative, a partnership between the city, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and other local religious institutions, partnering community organizations, community members. Over the past several years, this initiative has launched successfully in 4 other Utah cities: Provo City, Salt Lake City, West Valley, and Ogden, and is aimed at improving the lives of and opportunities for residents. Just another example of some of those service projects and other ways that we strive to make communities, neighborhoods inviting and exciting and vibrant places where people want to stay and call it my hometown.
Yesterday afternoon, my front yard was a tree. By 8 o'clock, they had most of the branches off.
They put a new fence up for me, which is great. They're putting out some trees in between the property. Got rid of an old chicken coop. Cleaning up, which is a blessing.
Volunteers came up with a My Hometown initiative. service group in Utah, made up of locals helping communities come together. The initiative organizes service projects that coordinate with local service organizations, nonprofits, churches, and city officials to clean up certain neighborhoods, helping 10 to 12 houses each service day. The long-term goals, however, are to help.
We have learned enough in our efforts over the years to realize that really neighborhood sustainability is about the people that live in the neighborhoods. Absolutely no question. There are things that we can do to assist and help with that, but in the end, it's the neighborhoods and the people that live in them themselves that have got to be able to ensure that longevity and sustainability of neighborhoods.
West Valley City, southwest of Salt Lake City, partnered with local organizations, including the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, with hope to create a sustainable long-term solution.
We worked with the city and said, all right, let's systematically go after this. The city's provided equipment, trucks, backhoes, dumpsters, individuals who wanted help pay for the materials. Block captains helped organize it. Specialists came in and sort of organized the project and what would be needed.
It's not about the projects. The projects are a vehicle to create neighborhoods where people know each other and want to spend time with each other and want to help each other.
There's great happiness that comes in getting outside of yourself and serving other people. Life is a lot better. The world's a lot better. Our communities, our neighborhoods are a lot better. There's a community where people are proud of them, they trust one another, they help one another. And that's why we're doing this, and that's what we're hoping for.
This is something that is going to make the city as a whole better, as well as our own interest here, and we want to contribute to that. We want to see that happen.
Brings it closer together, like confronting those things, because the people we serve, we learn to love.
The initiative is also underway in other Utah cities, including Ogden and Provo.
The Lord wants to bless his people, but it's through others that he does it, and we're trying to be the others.
Mayor Mendenhall in Salt Lake City explained her excitement to be involved this way.
Their key goals is to strengthen the opportunities for families to live and thrive in Salt Lake City. My hometown leverages the partnership between service and love of community to improve the lives of our residents, our neighborhoods, and the quality of life across Salt Lake City. My hometown brings service and volunteerism around a locally generated focus of need that leverages our city services farther than we'd ever be able to without that kind of volunteer help. We've seen improvement projects, community investment projects, singular needs that happen in a single household but otherwise couldn't be met, all be fulfilled thanks to the partnership that we have between Salt Lake City and the great volunteers through My Hometown. Partnerships like My Hometown help us to build that kind of network for community and for families to thrive in Salt Lake City.
So we're growing and expanding. This year, we opened 3 new neighborhoods, one in Orem that I mentioned, one in Provo, one in West Valley City. We're looking at expanding to several other communities. We're starting to hear from other surrounding cities that say, we heard about my hometown. Can you come and partner with us here and expand these opportunities, which is really exciting. Basically, how does it work? We need these things, a community with needs. There doesn't seem to be a shortage of that particular part. We need willing church leaders who agree to help us put together and organize a My Hometown project in their community. We need willing city leaders. The city has to be on board. We can't do this if we're not a partnership with the city. We need church service missionaries and volunteers. These projects require a fair amount of input. We have a lot serving as missionaries and we need more. If we're going to expand into other areas, we need more service missionaries and volunteers. We need to identify a building where we can hold a community resource center. And we find that in many communities, The congregations are shrinking and their buildings are becoming more available. So this is often not as challenging as it might otherwise be. We need some funds. The city contributes, the church contributes, and we look for donors. We really, to organize these kind of projects, to bring in the materials, to bring in the paint, much of it is donated, and we love that. We had one paint supplier donated hundreds of gallons of paint. He said, this is just, you use it however you want. West Valley City purchased heavy equipment. They purchased a backhoe. They purchased some of these booms, these lifts that you can get up to higher heights in a boom, just for my hometown to use. Dumpsters and dump trailers. So we put all of these things together. We organize days of service and community resource centers. That's kind of what my hometown does. That's how we're strengthening and building communities. I'm going to skip this one and just go to some data that might help you capture the scope of what we're doing. This might be a little hard to see. This is a map of Ogden, where we have 3 communities operating in my hometown communities, one in the west, the north, and the south. Last year in 2003, these stars represent individual properties where they held days of service, where they held service projects to improve these properties. And you can see a few of the stars aren't even in those communities. They're outside those communities where people said, there is a need. Can we do something there? Absolutely. We'd love to help. So that's a lot of projects in 1 year in this community in Ogden. Just some numbers that represent it. Last year in 2023 in Ogden, they enlisted over 5,000 volunteers. They completed 317 properties, cleanup projects, logged 17,488 and 1/4 hours of service from those volunteers. And if you put a monetary value to that, what would it cost you to hire that many people to come in? Well, it's over $500,000 of value for the service projects that were conducted in Ogden last year. Just some amounts of things that were hauled away. 195 tons of waste in dumpsters, take 217 loads of green waste, 241 tons moved to transfer stations. So there's a lot of material, a lot of work to do. How does this impact the city? What's it financially look like? Many of the properties that we identify to help beautify and strengthen and renovate come from the lists of city ordinance violations, that where the properties are in violation of certain ordinances, and the cities share those lists with us. They have a need to enforce their regulations. And so in Ogden City reports that in many cases, city code violations that aren't addressed by homeowners must be addressed by the city, and that's an abatement cost. They call that an abatement cost. In 2023, my hometown Ogden days of service saved the city $100,000 of abatement costs. So whatever they invested to help us out, it saved them $100,000 in that just last year. Many properties, with many properties, volunteers eliminated many decades of nuisance complaints and violations. Finally, somebody got around to that project. You've probably seen those as you drive around in various neighborhoods, and month after month, year after year, it seems like nothing happens. My hometown can help fix those problems. Ogden City, just breaking down, how did they save that $100,000? They held I mentioned in Ogden, they have 1 day and they go out and they do a lot of projects. In 2023, they had 4 days when they went out and did all of these projects. In fact, on the first event, they closed 55 cases, saving $14,000 of abatement costs. The next time they did it, 41 cases, $38,000. The third event, 42 cases closed, $24,000 saved. The fourth event, 49 cases closed, $24,000. So there you see how those costs add up in Ogden in 1 year. In Ogden, they have a lot of city businesses that are great sponsors and have said, we want to help. We can provide funds, we can provide materials, we'll invite our employees to come and help, to volunteer. This is just some of those that are working in Ogden City to help us with these days of service and the projects that we're accomplishing. So you can see that's quite a spread of different businesses that are joining in to help us out. Now, in the community resource centers, what kind of classes are available there? This is a sampling from one community resource center in West Valley City. And you can probably just read, don't worry about the fine print, just look at the titles of the classes that were offered here. English is a second language, it's very, very popular. But also we're teaching ukulele, children's literacy, art, piano lessons, love and logic, computer literacy. Basically, you know, here's the computer. It's not how to turn it on. How can I use a computer to help me? Guitar lessons. They're teaching some classes to a national diabetes prevention program. If you look at the fine print here, it says, taught in the Marshallese language. There's a community in West Valley City of Marshallese refugees that are at high risk for diabetes. So we're teaching a class to them on how to lower their risk of diabetes. And a beginner sewing class. Now, let me just share an interesting thing that we found to be very helpful. We'll teach sewing classes and they're very popular, but what if somebody doesn't have a sewing machine at home? They think, well, I'd love to learn how to sew, but then what am I going to do? Well, with our funding and help from others, if a student will come and complete their sewing class at the end of the course, we'll give them the sewing machine. They can take it home. Same with our piano lessons. We have keyboards, electronic keyboards. We let the students take those home to practice, but at the end of their piano course, when they have completed, we actually invite them to have a recital to show what they've learned in their piano lessons. Then they get to take the keyboard home and they can use it in their homes and continue what they're learning. So these are just some ideas that are really helping lift those individuals and those families in these communities. Okay, let me go to this one. This is a representation of statistics from the first half of 2024. Just to give you again a sample of the scope, the size of what we're accomplishing here. In the community resource centers, we're using 1,470 volunteers to run and teach classes in these community resource centers throughout the state in those 5 cities where we currently serve. 35,000 hours of volunteer service time. And in the first half of the year, we've had over 6,000 students in those classes in our community resource centers. In our days of service, over 6,500 volunteers have participated, 23,000 hours. Again, this is just in the springtime cleanup. This doesn't count any of the things that we're doing now in the fall. And 404 projects completed in Utah. The My Hometown events will organize with the city cooperation and our volunteer supporters, a community event, just an evening where you can come. The city provides the food. We'll have a live band. The city helps pay for the live band, or our sponsors do. We'll have face painting and fun games for the kids and some information booths where families can come and find out other resources that they can tap into in the community. So volunteers and service hours and over 8,000 have attended our community events. In the Salt Lakes, the My Hometown Utah mission, we now have over 1,000 missionaries, typically senior couples who are serving, and as well as over 200 volunteers that may or may not be members of the church. Well, I have several other stories I could share. Let me just really try to do this briefly. A couple of weeks ago, We painted the outside of the Mount Calvary Episcopal Church in West Valley City. We had about 40 volunteers there. The city brought in 2 of these big booms so we could get up high. We had hundreds of gallons of paint that were used, put on with power sprayers that the city provided for us to do this. And in one day, we painted the whole outside of the church. The pastor there was just thrilled. He thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. October 2024 Reader's Digest. This is the issue that just came out. They named the nicest place to live in America. It was Provo, Utah, in the Reader's Digest analysis of where you should go to live. This is just a quote of one paragraph from the Reader's Digest article. Provo enjoys affordable housing, an enviably low crime rate, and a high rate of community volunteerism. We know our neighborhood. We're kind. We look out for each other, says the city's mayor, Michelle Kafusi. Provo people are sensitive to what's going on in the community. So Reader's Digest interviewed Mayor Kafusi. This is what she's saying about her city that's just been identified as the best place to live in America. Then she says, on any given Saturday, some 250 volunteers show up ready to work in a pre-selected neighborhood. They rip out damaged trees, pour concrete for driveways. Anything we can do to help the neighbor, says Kafusi, 57. The Provo native, who grew up as one of 7 kids in a single-parent household, started this My Hometown initiative to help the city that helped raise her. So we're in the leading story in Reader's Digest for this month. My Hometown is right there. And the city mayor says, she's kind of claiming, this is my initiative. I brought it to the city and we're using it. And it's made us, helped us be the nicest place in America. This is a lodge that was donated to be used for gatherings that might help my hometown. We have a large interfaith council that's having a retreat. And this facility was donated, all of the facility, the resources that are needed to have that retreat were just donated by someone who believes in my hometown and sees how it's influencing and building communities. This is a real cute story. I'll end with this. Let's see. Okay. This is from Ogden, where they completed these projects. He says, one project was for the family of a beautiful young lady named Zulufa Kabuo from Congo. Her story is inspiring, as is her faith and the faith of her family. Zulufa came from a war-torn area in Congo where she was exposed to death and horror at a very young age. With her brother and cousin, she fled to Uganda when she was 9 years old. At age 10, she was given refugee status and was able to come to the United States, ending up in Ogden, Utah. When they came to Ogden, Zulufa's family had no place to live. With some major efforts and miracles by many, Ogden City donated a lot. You notice the house with the white pillars behind us in the picture. This is the home. A wonderful nonprofit called Extreme Makeover Home Edition came in and in 5 days built this house. Ogden, my hometown, completed the landscaping on this home as one of 84 projects done in September, this last September. The landscaping supplies were provided by a local landscaper who just was driving by, saw the project, and offered to provide all of the materials. We feel this collaboration is exactly what the vision of my hometown should be, and we're thrilled to see this success story in person. So, impacting individuals, making a difference. Just a comment from the Ogden City Police Chief just recently reported that over the past 3 years, there's been a dramatic reduction of crime in Ogden City, as well as many gangs moving out of the city. He attributed this to my hometown, with the work that they have done in the city. We don't have the specific numbers, but we're looking to gather the information to document what's happening there. So quite an impact. And A marvelous initiative that started with a concern of a stake president for a local neighborhood and now has grown to many communities and hopefully will continue to grow. And we'll be able to use this in communities throughout the United States and perhaps throughout the world. We've actually already had inquiries from a town in Mexico that wants my hometown to come and start in Mexico. So I'm grateful to be a part of this. And if any of you have interest, we're easy to find on the internet. But I would also be happy to provide additional information. Are there any questions? We have just a few minutes. Any questions about what this is and what we're doing?
How do you sign up?
You sign up. You know, that's a great question. All of the cities have links where you can click on and become a volunteer. If you'd like to consider being one of our church service missionaries, we would love to have you serve. That can be for a period of a year or 18 months. You go through the typical application process for a church service missionary. Again, it's fairly easy to find on the internet, and we can get you a code number to apply for My Hometown. And you can serve at home. It's not a live away from home. It's not a full-time mission call. Our volunteers often spend between 8 or 12 hours a week serving in their assignments. Yes. Block parties. We love the block parties. Yes. So it's this sense of creating community that makes this so worthwhile. It's not a go in and take out a tree and we're done. Have a nice day. It's take out the tree and meet your neighbors and let's invite you to take care of your neighbors. So block parties are wonderful. We love it when those are organized by the block captains and not by the missionaries. That's the goal, is to have this reside in the communities where they feel like it's their hometown. Yes.
Who is the mission president?
So again, with the My Hometown mission, we use different titles for the for the organization so that we don't create confusion or anxiety in the communities where we serve. The Utah area director is Craig and Linda Burton. These are these two on the screen with Zulufa. So they're called the directors, but it's sort of like the mission president. And there are two other couples that serve as their associate directors, which are the like counselors to the mission president. That's Sister Clayton and myself, and Steve and Valyn. I'm sorry, Polly. That's right. Okay, Steve and Polly Peterson, and they're serving as the counselors, sort of helping supervise them. Great. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be with you. I hope this has been helpful to expand your vision of things going on in our communities, and appreciate the chance to be here with you today. Thank you.